the proper discernment of Yeshua's divinity. Word theos is the word for God. In the KJV Bible, it says, where you see God, it says theos. And even though that may seem so cut and dry, like, oh, it says the Word was God and the Word was with God, it literally shows that it says the Word was with the God and the Word was God. But in the Greek, it would read, and the Word was with the deity, and the Word was deity, so a deity. And Isaiah 28:9-10 shows us proper discernment. We have to use a verse from here and there, here a little, there a little, line upon line, so we can know proper who God teaches to understand scriptures and knowledge. So with that being said, you can't just look at that verse like, oh, right there, he's God. You have to go line upon line, go to other verses that pertain to that. So with the Greek understanding, you'd have to understand that theos means deity. So we have to see what Christ says his divinity is, what type of deity he is. We know that the Father is the Most High, where it says that Hebrews 1, he is the majesty on high. He is the Most High. We know that throughout Tanakh too, in Torah, he is the Most High God. So his divinity is already established. But Christ in the New Testament, his divinity he establishes too. In Revelations 22:16, he says, I am the bright and morning star. That's his divinity nature in the beginning. So we'd have to go and find a verse that shows in some kind of beginning with the morning stars. So we'd go to Job 38, and we would see in verse 4 it says, "When where was you when I laid the foundations of the earth?" So this is when the world is being created. So that's in the beginning. So we found what our beginning is. It's the beginning of creation. And then we go down to verse 7. It says, when the morning stars, plural too, when the morning stars sang together with the sons of God, which are the angels. We see that in Job 38. Satan and the sons of God go before the Most High. The angels are the sons of God. So, and we see that also in Revelations 3, I believe, Revelation 2 or Revelation 3, where it says, I saw the Son of God, that he's talking about the angel that Christ sent, he was being referred to as a son of God. But anyways, back to Job 38. If you look in verse 7, it says, the morning stars singing before the angels. And then to find out, since we have two plural morning stars, we have to find out who are these morning stars. We have to narrow it down to how many there are. So we have to keep reading in Job 38. So if you keep going down, you'll see in verse 12 all the way to 15, you see that there is a day spring that the Most High God is commanding. He says, the day spring, I've to let know his place, and he will shake the wicked out of the earth and the ones that withheld their light. And there's a high arm of those that withheld their light. So we see that there is a darkness withheld the light, and then the high arm that will be broken. So we have to look for scriptures that says arms. What is an arm? Well, if you go to Isaiah 40, you'll see that says the Most High's arm will rule for him. And then if you go into Isaiah 52, it shows that the Most High's arm is being revealed, and he will be set up on a mountain, and he will bring in salvation. So we're starting to get a picture of what an arm is. Who is the holy arm? There's a high arm of darkness, and now there's a holy arm. So we have to go into Isaiah 53, and then we'll see that the suffering servant, he is what? In verse 1, it says, the holy arm of Yah, the arm of Yah being revealed. So we know that the suffering servant is Christ. He is referred to an arm. He says he's a morning star. So we know that the other arm, the high arm of darkness, is also a morning star. So we have two morning stars. See, this is how he paints his pictures. It's in a deep clue form. Here a little, there a little. And who he teaches how knowledge and doctrine. And so now that we have two arms And we've understand that there's two morning stars. So we have Lucifer, who's, if you go into Isaiah 14:12, you'll see that he is Lucifer. Means in Greek, it means light bearer, which is a star. A star bears light. And then he is called the son of the morning. So he is a morning light bearer. He is the son of the morning, and he's a light bearer. So he's a morning star. So we have evidence that he is a morning star, and he's the one that fell. He's of darkness. So with that being established, we know Christ's divinity. He is a morning star, and Satan's divinity, he is a morning star. But if he's a morning star, Christ's a morning star, are they equal? There's no, because we'd have to find a verse. If we go to 1 Colossians 15, it shows that Christ is the first created being. He's the first born creature of all beings. And where people mess up 1 Colossians 15, they try to bunch it with the verse under where it says he's the firstborn of the dead. But they're skipping over the whole section of 1 Colossians 15 and going to 16 to 17 and 18. If you read down, it's still talking about in the beginning of when the world was established. And then it goes talking to now he's being the firstborn of the dead when he was born as a man. He's also the firstborn of the dead, of mankind that died, and he was resurrected back to his former glory, as you see when he said, Father, establish me to my former glory that I had with you in the beginning. So we understand that in the beginning he was a morning star, and he was the first created, so that makes him the greater morning star. And the second morning star is Lucifer, who is number 2. He is the creation number 2, which there's kind of analogy in there. The wicked one, TWO, the wicked one, he was the number 2 creation. And if you kind of really get deeper, if TWO, the O is 1, so he's the number 1 of the wicked. So he's the wicked one, which is number 2 of all creation. Christ is number 1 of all creation of the morning stars. He is the greatest. He was, even in Hebrews 1, it says that he will earn a better name than them. He has earned a better name. He wasn't created the Son of God. He was born the Son of God. In the beginning, he was a morning star, and he was put into flesh, born from the spirit of Yah, because he was a morning star. He came as a light out of the Most High God. And so he's a star seed, basically, that's got put into a woman, and he was born, so he is begotten of Yah. And that's where Psalms 2 says he is the first begotten. He said, this day I will call you the first begotten. So we're seeing that a status change. If you go into Hebrews 1, verse 4, you can see a status change. He says, you have obtained, he says, you have obtained a more excellent name. So, and he says, I have made you greater than the angels. So we see right there that he is a creation. He has earned a status higher. He's now exalted. He's the highest exalted who's been given authority. So he's also the right hand, on the right hand of Yah. He is also, the right hand has always signified, like, to a boss. The right hand is always the number 1 exalted servant that's even given power over the boss's whole organization to see that the boss's will be done. He answers to nobody but the boss, who commands him. Everybody else is subject under him. He has power and authority over them. So he is their Lord over them, a master. So that's where people, when they see Lord, they think automatically it's the Most High. No, he is a master. That's where you go into 1 Corinthians 8 and 6, and you'll see that there's many lords, but there's only one God. To us, there's one God the Father, and there's only one Lord, Master, Jesus Christ. He is the mediator. Shalom.